Hi, Uyie, for your Araling Panlipunan. Let's start with Discovery of New Worlds. Tell us about Vasco da Gama in India.
Okay, so um, Vasco da Gama, I think is a Portuguese sailor, and he wanted to discover India, but it wasn't. It was not definitely not that easy. So first he sailed under the Cape of Good Hope, and then he went um to I forgot where it was, but they um they weren't really that welcoming. They weren't really that welcoming, and then um but I think the king they he he wanted to prove his friendship with them, so he gave some some ships and pilots to them to lead them the way to India. So when they went to they were sailing along, and then when they were sailing along, they reached India, and then after that, when they reached India, um, it was actually a land that had lots of cloths and um, yeah, there were lots of treasures to them that they wanted to give and to receive. So then, when they received, when they found lots of that there was lots of things there, they had to exchange um, gold and silver to the Indians, and then they had to return back to tell about their journey. They went back under the Cape of Good Hope, and then they went back to Portugal, and they came back. And then they gave all the treasures and told what their journey was about. That's it.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So where is India a part of? What continent is India a part of?
Asia.
Hmm.
What?
Okay. Next is Amistad. What happened in the last chapter you've read in Amistad?
So recently, the Africans, they were, as you know, they already took over the ship because they killed the captain. Well, Sinket shot the captain, and everyone was frightened, and I think some people hid from them, and but there's still some people are still there on the ship other than the Africans, and recently they have been trying. Meanwhile, they were actually trying to try to make a plan back to Africa, and they have been seeing the stars and the compass, and they had to keep everyone had jobs. Some had to handle the whole ship. Some had to do the mast. some had to like have like a map or try to find the way where to go to tell the captain and help. And some also just kept an eye out for other people. And I didn't see much about Kale. It's mostly saying about what they're doing with the ship now. And there was these two characters, Montes and Ruiz. They were also hiding. They barricaded their door and they just stayed there. And Montes was bleeding, and Ruiz didn't care about that. He was thinking a way how to get out. To escape. And he said, "Will you be quiet? I'm trying to think here." And then Montes was like, "Well, I am bleeding here. I'm about to die." And also,
why was he bleeding?
I forgot the reason why, but he was. And then also, yes, that's it. That's what I know.
What chapter is this?
Either 7 or 7 or 8. I think 7.
Okay. And do you know where they were? What location they were in? Or what country?
I don't say.
Okay, but they were still high on the seas. If you were sinking on Amistad, what would you feel?
Scared. I'm around people I don't know. But it looked like their team they work together really. They live together easily.
Who?
Every African. They were all they just if they tell them to do something, they'll do it already. But they weren't exactly friends. They were just more of a team.
What do you think about slavery?
Bad. Bad.
What gave the white people the idea that they are superior to the black people?
Because of the color. I don't think this, but I think they think this is because white is a cleaner color or something.
What?
Like, I don't know, prettier color for them. But I think all colors are good.
So if you see an African among us,
What?
will his color have any effect on you?
No, it just usually I look at foreigners a lot because they are I see lots of differences from us because first the colors, their hair, their height, like whoa, they're tall. I just look at them because of that they look very different in a good way. They're like, oh, an African American. They're tall, and then I just pass by. That's it. I do the same with the other foreigners.
What about have you encountered being treated as a lesser race?
No. We're all Filipinos.
Yeah, but have you encountered? Because you interact with some.
Our friends are some.
Yeah.
No, they don't say anything. They don't say anything.
Well, that's good, right?
But one of our jujitsu classmates, her name is Kirsten, and she's half Filipino, half Australian. She doesn't have the voice, but I wasn't saying it, but she when Lahan and Mandy and Isla Lahan and Mandy, when they found out that Kristen was half Australian, they started saying hey mate, and then Sophie heard Kristen rumble, as an Australian, that's very offensive. Yeah, then Sophie said, guys, stop, it's very offensive to Kristen. And even sometimes people accidentally in jiu-jitsu, they sometimes accidentally say British accent in front of Archer.
Why are you laughing?
Because you're laughing. And it sounds weird because once Mandy said, Archer, Archer. So weird.
Okay.
And then
What did Archer say?
He didn't say anything. And then Sophie said, thought in her mind, Mandy, stop. Because it'd be offensive if someone kept saying, salamat po, like a foreigner.
Okay. Alright. Okay, next question. Well, it says draw the country of Afghanistan and its neighboring countries. But instead of drawing
already did.
it, I know. Why don't you, from memory, tell me what the neighboring countries around Afghanistan are?
I think
And what continent does it belong to?
I think it was Iran, Pakistan, India, close. Yeah, I think Turkmenistan. Yeah, that's what I saw, what I drew. And I think the continent was half Africa, half Asia.
Okay.
Maybe mostly Asia.
Why did you draw the country of Afghanistan?
Because you said
Yeah, why?
because I think they gave Rumi, because of Rumi.
You're done with one, Luna?
No.
No, but did you read it this quarter? No, okay, so we won't.
Because I was mostly paying attention to the discovery of New World. Sorry.
It's alright.
Didn't mean. Actually, I did.
I'll then finish the book within the week. Okay?
Aww.
The ikli lang, no? Okay? Alright,
What if
thank
I
you.
forget?
Don't forget. Okay? Thank you.